I did not have to press the start button. It already started for me. So that's the tools and basically all the other nooks and crannies in the next video. But yeah, I hope you guys are interested in this series of videos. I know it's going to help you a lot, or maybe a lot, I don't know. But if it does, and you really want to show your support, please leave a like down below. Again, one thing I would really request, guys, is that you follow me on my social networks. I need to get some follows on my social networks so that I can at least build a community around what I'm doing, which is basically ethical hacking and cybersecurity. So yeah, I mean, if you feel like, drop a like on my Facebook, Twitter, or follow me on Instagram. No worries there. You'll get all the latest updates on the videos I'm working on and all the other stuff. The other thing is, guys, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. It's grown a lot since the start of the year.
Wala po ito ng mga to, ng mga chicken. Hmm?
Hey guys, Hacksploit here, back again with another video, and welcome to the complete guide on how to set up your own virtual penetration testing lab where you can practice all your skills and obviously improve as you move along. Now, I just want to pass out a quick announcement that regarding the SS7 exploitation video, I'm currently working with YouTube to get it accepted. Of course, I'm not going to be able to monetize it, but I'm still forcing it or trying to make sure that it gets published on YouTube. If that's not the case, I'll have to host it on my website, so then you can check it out over there. Reason being is that YouTube does not allow any demonstration of exploitation of a system that you do not own. In the video, I explain and show you how to exploit a GSM network and that type of thing. That being said, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to set up your own virtual penetration testing lab so you can practice your skills. Now, before we get started, I just want to point out that if you're installing Kali Linux or ParrotOS, whatever penetration testing distribution that you decide, if you're installing it on a physical machine, then it'll still be the same for you as long as you have enough computers to run Metasploitable as a server, or if you then tend to go into virtualization, which is my recommended option, especially nowadays because computers are much faster and they're able to handle virtualization much better. All right, so let's get started. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be taking you through the different virtualization softwares. We're then going to move on to actually selecting your penetration testing distribution, and then I'll show you how to get your exploitable or your vulnerable operating system or vulnerable server, which in this case is Metasploitable 2. All right, let's get started. So as I said, the first thing that you want to make sure you have ready, or you want to make sure that you have hardware-wise, is you have enough system resources. Now I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The most important thing you need is virtualization. If your processor does not support virtualization, then that means that you cannot, or you are unable to use a virtualizing or a virtualization software. Okay, now this is not very common because even the older processors like the Pentium and the Core 2 Duos, they all support it, and some of the older AMD processors, it's a very common feature to have any processor have virtualization. Okay, now this will work on any operating system. You could be running macOS, you could be running Linux, and if you're running Windows, it'll be the same thing right here. Okay, so as you can see, I've got these files on my desktop, and I'll be explaining them as we move along. Now, let's get started with visualization software. Now, I'm going to start off with my favorite and what I recommend to you right
Ito yung
now.
pinag-aaralan natin
Alright,
nung-
and that is
nung
VMware.
ano tayo,
Now,
nung-
you don't have to buy VMware.
nung
By the way,
grade-
quick announcement, I'm going to be
nung
doing a
ano tayo,
giveaway
second year, di ba naalala?
probably when we hit 70 or 80,000 subscribers. I'm going to be giving away 5 legitimate serial keys for VMware Pro so that you guys can also get started with it, because I've invested in it and it's absolutely fantastic. Alright, but if you want to use the free one, I apologize for my phone notifications here. Let me actually just turn that on silent. That being said, there is the free version, and the website will be linked in the description, so you can check it out for yourself. Okay, so let's get started with the download. So you can go to the left hand side here and click on downloads. Alright, now if you look at product downloads, it'll show you all the products they have. You can then go to the free product trials and demos. Okay, you don't want to look for that. That all to do with demos. If you want to try VMware Workstation Pro, go ahead and try it. You can have a trial. You then want to go to your free product downloads where you have Workstation Player. That is the free version, and you can use it as much as you want. The difference between the free and pro version is that the pro version has more features in regards to just making things easier when it comes down to virtualization. So you can recover all that good stuff, and probably make a video on the differences there. But if you're a beginner, you don't have to spend money.
Ika, ganda pa ba? Ito, pinapalik si ganda. Ito,
Ang
here.
gulo yung kumain ka, mahawak ka sa pagkain, tapos hawak kay ganda, mag-alcohol ka.
Makor.
Baba mo na ganda. Baba.
Professional version. Trust me, I use the free version, and I've used it in many enterprise situations, and it worked perfectly. Okay, so you just want to click on one of the options here. So for example, Workstation Player, and just let it load. Apologize for my slow internet. For some reason it always is slow. So there you are. You can download it for Windows 64-bit operating systems, and you can select your option here for Linux. Now, if you're not interested or you don't like VMware, you can go for VirtualBox. VirtualBox was my favorite, but after a while, it just has too many compatibility issues, especially with Kali Linux, and I'm going to be getting to do that in a second. Alright, so VirtualBox is essentially free, and you can use it on Linux, you can use it on Windows, all that good stuff. Now, if you're running Mac OS, what I would recommend is that you use a software or a program called Parallels. I'm sure you've heard of it if you've been using a Mac, because that's essentially the only alternative software on the Mac OS platform. Okay, so don't worry if you're running a Mac, it's essentially the same process. Just open up Parallels and you should be good. Okay, so with VirtualBox, it's completely free, and you can just go into downloads. Don't worry, the link will be in the description. And you want to look for the VirtualBox, the latest platform packages, and for some reason the Windows host is not available right now. So you can, by the way, they also added the OS X. I believe that was added probably around the version 5. Sorry about that. So you can also use VirtualBox on macOS. You can also use it on Linux and Solaris. So again, it's very simple. Just download it and get it installed. Okay, so once you've chosen your virtualization software, now it is one of the most taunting, it's one of the most complicated. Well, in my mind, it's not really complicated, but for many beginners, it's probably the most fidgety topic, and that is selecting your penetration testing distribution. Now, I'm going to recommend one of two, and that is Kali Linux. So you can use Parrot OS, or you can use Kali Linux. Now, a lot of people ask me or send me messages and post their comments in the description, in the comment section, saying which one is better, why it's better. And then there's always arguments, heated arguments, all of that. And here's what I say. Okay, I was in the same dilemma. Trust me. Well, mostly the time I got started, there was only one. There was Backtrack. That's it. So you had to learn it, or that's that. So again, I would say just choose one and stick with it. Now, most people will say start with Kali, master Kali, then you can use Parados, because it's essentially the same functionalities transferred over. It's just that the difference is the operating system and the kernel and all of that. So it's very little to do with the tools, because the tools are on all the platforms. So again, it's all about what you like. So here's what I'm going to say: download each of them and then try which one you like. Okay, so maybe you can try Kali. If you don't like it, try Parrot. Parrot is something that you may like, and do not be confused and do not be scared of making the decision. Once you've made the decision, stick with it, and if you have any problems, then try and troubleshoot it. If you can't, switch to the other one. All right. And in my opinion, I'll say this: that Kali Linux is an enterprise type of operating system, especially now. So it is what I would call a industry standard. All right. Now, Parrot OS is fantastic. There's no doubt about that. I've used it for many projects, real life projects, and I can tell you that it does work. But when you move on to a professional level, I would recommend Kali Linux, because it is the benchmark and it is sort of required, because they're not going to allow you to just test systems, or employers are not going to allow you to test systems with tools that are not familiar. That's what I was also talking about. Installing all these weird scripts, is it really going to help? Because you have to know how to use the industry standard tools. Okay, so you can choose between Kali Linux and Parrot OS. Now, when it comes to